one of the first things I wanted to make sure I asked you about too is, and I mentioned it on that last lesson I was on about the movements, chord movements, right? It's like, for example, so if we were in that B flat, I could play on the 5, right? The 6 movement.
The 6 on the 5.
Yeah, but what gets me is those diminished notes for that B flat. It seems to clash to me.
When I'm on a B flat major, I play F6, not necessarily F6 diminished scale, but I run F6 into B flat 6.
Okay.
So when you run F6 into B flat 6, that's when you get that other diminished. So you take your F6, give me the 4 notes of F6 over B flat. Now 2 notes lower to make that F diminished.
F diminished?
Yeah. 2 notes lower. No. So what 4 notes do you have?
F, A, C, and D. And to make it F diminished, I would lower the A to the A flat. Oh, yeah, C to the B.
Yes, C to the B, and then what?
And then A to the A flat.
Right. So do that.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So do it. Right, and now you lower those 2 notes again.
I got B flat minor. Yeah.
That B flat 6.
Right.
D da da. So do it again. That's the move I like.
Okay.
On 1 chord. Now do it again. Do it next inversion.
Okay.
Next.
I just did that one. Then I got this one.
Now you got to do some drop 2s also.
Right. So I got.
Sometimes when you're playing it, you hit the first 4 notes and then you just hit the 2 notes that move. You don't hit you hold on to them. So do that again.
So you got okay. Sorry about that.
Now you know what's interesting, man? You move 2 notes to make it from F6 to B flat 6, right? You move 2 notes. You move the C down a whole step and you move the A down a whole step, right? Those are the 2 notes.
Yeah, half steps and then all the way down.
You did a half step then a whole step. But in order to make F6 F6 into B flat 6, you move the 2 notes a whole step. That makes them B flat 6. Now what's interesting is the 2 notes that you didn't move was the F and the A, right?
Right.
Now move those down a half step from the. So now you're on B flat 6, right? So play the B flat 6, the last one.
Okay.
Now lower the 2 notes that you didn't move. So the 2 notes that you didn't move were the F and the A, right?
The F and the D. Yeah.
Right. And now again. Right. Now what do you have?
I got the C.
Now you have E flat.
E flat 6. Yeah.
You see? So that's another move. So now watch. Do E flat 6 to the E diminished to B flat 6. Do that. No. E flat 6 and then raise the 2 notes a half step.
Oh.
And then another half step. Right. So you have 2 moves, right?
Yeah.
You have like F6 to B flat 6, but you also have E flat 6 to B flat 6. Now, if you think about it, the diminished that you used, that you went from F6 to B flat 6 was F diminished. The diminished that you used to go from E flat 6 to B flat 6 was E diminished. So that's 2 diminishes. What's the only other diminished you didn't use?
Oh.
What's the only diminished you didn't use? We used F diminished and we used E diminished. What are we missing? One other.
One more diminished?
Yeah, there's only one left, right?
The E flat?
E flat, exactly.
Yeah.
But the E flat is in the B flat 6 diminished scale, right?
Right.
That's already in there. That's already in B flat 6 diminished. So what's interesting is, if you think about those 3 movements, those are 3 beautiful movements that you can use over a 1 chord, like a B flat 6, right? And it's using all 3 of those diminishes. The first one, let's say the E flat diminished, is just if you move B flat 6 to the diminished. That's just B flat 6 diminished scale. That's E flat diminished, right?
Okay.
And if you say, okay, well, how am I going to use E diminished? The E diminished is that E flat 6 to the B flat 6, where you say dee-doo-da.
Yeah.
Doo-doo-da. That happens with dee-doo-da all the time, right? The other diminished, the F diminished, is when you go from the 6 on the 5th to the 1 chord, which is dee-doo-da, dee-doo-da, right? That's all this dee-doo-da. So you could say, you say doo-doo-da, doo-doo-da, doo-doo-da. I use them both all the time. So those are important little tiny things that when you listen to Bud Powell, when you listen to Barry, you're going to hear them throw stuff like that in all the time.
Right.
And it makes perfect sense if you're thinking about them coming from the point of view of the diminished. It makes perfect sense.
Right, right.
So you have F6 gets to B flat 6 through that F diminished, right? Then E flat 6 gets to B flat 6 through the E diminished. Okay. So that's 2. And then you have B flat 6 diminished scale uses the E flat diminished. That's the 3 moves. Right. And you should be equally comfortable with all 3 of those. Okay. Equally comfortable. Equally comfortable, you know. I like that. And the thing is, if you start to think about all the different inversions, all the drop 2s, all the drop 3s, drop 2, drop 4, all those. I was looking at so many things with the family, you know, like starting with the diminished and then lowering the notes to get your 4 dominants and then raising a note a half step to get your 4 minor 6s. I've been looking at so much stuff with that, man, with triads for doing runs, you know, for like just single note runs.
And that's the other thing. So I had the question about the chords. That gives me a lot of clarity on that. But then also the movements, the runs, like in blues and rhythm, and even like we're working on Cherokee and everything, it's just in not coming up with the same stuff all the time. Like, you know, you can do the half step rules, but then adding some flavor to it.
Whatever that is. And you're right, it's always a combination of things like Barry's chromatic scale, his descending half step rules, pivots, all that stuff. All that stuff, you should be able to do it. So, for instance, if we take the bridge of Cherokee, take the bridge of Cherokee.
C sharp going to...
Yeah, F sharp 7. So think F sharp 7 up and down, B major up and down. Just do the scales. Go ahead.
F sharp.
B major. 7.
E7?
E.
Okay.
E7. A major. E7. E major. C7. F7. That's the whole bridge.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So you should be able to do that. That stuff has to be fast. So now instead of doing all those up and down, do them down and up.
Oh.
So
okay.
F sharp 7. Down.
Oops. That's different.
Now do them all up and down, but starting on the 3rd to the 2nd.
Do it, man. Do it. Up and down, starting on the 2nd?
Starting on the third,
Starting on the third.
running up to the second.
Okay. Right?
Yeah. And the same thing here for B major. Do it.
Like it. Ooh. Ooh. Then third. Oh.
Yep, come on.
Ooh.
Yep. Exactly. You see that? Yeah, and then you do the same thing. You start on the second, run down to the third, and run up. So you say same thing, and then same thing. Same
I
thing.
love it. Then second. Major?
Major.
A major? Okay. Oh.
So you see, just scale. We're not even doing anything different to it. We're not messing. I'm just telling you to play a scale from each degree, and it's already, it's already a thing.
It is.
But this is the kind of stuff that gets you out of doing your regular stuff. This gets you out of it, So now let's take a thing. Let's do a thing on. Let's do a thing on F#7.
Okay.
Let's come up a chord from the third. Come up a chord from the third, put a half step below. Right. Now you're ending on the second, right?
Yeah.
Now do me a favor. The rule for the second descending is no half steps or two half steps. Do two half steps. Do it. That's all I want. So
Okay.
watch it. But after the first beat, so watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it. Yes, that's what I want for F#. Now let's think of something nice for B flat for B major. Ready?
Yeah.
So we got. Maybe we'll do. Let's see. Yeah, let's do a chord up from the third of the B flat major, ending on the second. Now remember, the major rules are a little different because now it's not tonic and it's 6 and 5, but still put two half steps between the second and the tonic and between the 6th and the 5th. Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So let's put that together. Both of them are after the first beat. Do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Okay, now E7. Come on, Maury. Come on, man.
Oh my God. Oh God. Ooh. That right?
I don't know about that. Do that again. Yes.
That's what I missed. Okay. And A, the same thing. Oh, come on, Mark.
Major. Yes, exactly. Okay, D.
Okay. The dominants are cool. It's just the majors kind of shifted up a little bit with the 6,
Yeah. So the thing is, like, you have to get used to the major descending half step rules the same way you used to the dominant. The same way,
Get a lot of mileage out of this though.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about now? Let's think. Okay, now that's just his descending half step rules with a half step below and coming up a chord. So that's two things you have to know: coming up a chord with the half step below, and then the descending half step rules. Okay, let's do something different. Let's start on the second of the F sharp 7. And let's go totally chromatic from the Barry's chromatic scale from the 2nd to the 4th. Do that one. Right. Now, when you get to the 4th, come down a chord.
I'm doing. Should I shift the octave? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not there. Yes. Exactly. Yes, do that.
What did I start on again?
On the 2nd.
Oh yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good one, right? Maybe put a 16-note triplet on the 3rd. Watch.
Okay.
That's slick, right?
Yeah.
Man. So come down to the 4th. So watch.
Okay.
Yeah, just come down to that. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we'll do that for the... Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but instead of just 2 notes, do thirds. Yeah. Yes. Yes, now watch, we got... Do it.
Ooh,
so watch, after you do the chromatic, watch.
Do it again. Okay. Oh. I missed the last part.
Just come down the scale. Keep going down the scale. No. Right to there, exactly.
God, that's a mouthful. Yeah. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, too far.
Yeah.
Watch. End on the B natural. And then jump. When you get to the B natural, jump up.
I'm playing something at the very end that's throwing it off. Right there.
No, but I'm only doing 1 half step.
Oh, I
Are you
did.
doing 1 half step?
I did 2. That's why.
No, don't do 2.
That's what.
Yes, but make sure the 1 half step is between the tonic and the 7.
Oh, okay, I messed
F
that up
sharp and
too.
the E. So look.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Right there.
And then bop a dibby.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, make sure you put in the 1 half step between F sharp and E.
Right. So. Okay. Yeah. You gotta feel that rhythm on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's ba ba doo ba dee ba dee ba dee ba dee ba dee ba dee ba da ba da dee ba dee ba dee da. E7. No, E7. Start on the second. Come on, man. Start on the second.
On the E?
On the E, start the second.
Go. Ooh, one.
But do you see? So the concept is that you like take something maybe that you're not used to, you know.
But
you just say, all right, I'm going to take it through some keys, you know, just like that. That's why, I mean, it doesn't have to be Cherokee Bridge, but it's just we were talking about that, so it's nice.
But still, though, it's just, I mean, the way you mix and match like that is crazy.
But you can do it too. You just have to practice. You know, you just have to practice doing it. It's like, but it makes you see like, oh, do I know my chromatic scale well enough to then mix it with other stuff? You know, like I have to be able to do that. So like, what if we start on the second and did the chromatic all the way up to the fifth? So watch. Do that.
Starting from the second on the
Start from the second. No, start from the second. Barry's chromatic scale all the way to the fifth.
Okay, up to the fifth.
Right. So say. Do it. Now pivot a chord. Yes, perfect. So you got. You know, just come down the scale.
Is that right?
And then tonic. And then maybe 5. Yeah. So watch. So you got. Let's see. That covers the whole thing.
So you said. Oh, okay. Hold on, Maury. Right?
Da-do-da.
So like.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, E7.
Okay.
No pivot. What would pivot a chord?
Pivot, right? That's gonna be.
Yes. You see what I mean? But that's what you do. You take something like that and see like, well, do I really know those? Like, do I really know the chromatic scale? Do I really know when I want to pivot any place, can I just do it? See, can I just pivot any place? See, that's the idea. You should be able to pivot on any degree.
Yeah.
Any degree. So if we take F sharp 7, watch. F sharp 7, I'm going to call out a degree. You have to pivot. You have to hit that note and then pivot a chord, okay? Any degree. Ready?
So take it from F sharp?
F sharp 7.
Okay. Yeah.
7th, pivot a chord. Okay, that was 2 tries. That was 2 tries.
Okay, Chris.
You want to try to get it in 1 try, man.
Let's strike that one and start again.
The 4th.
Okay.
Good. The 6th.
That's hard. Oh, that's not right.
The 2nd. 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah. 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be just like that.
Yeah.
See, now you just, like, no question about it. And you should be able to do it at any point. Any point. Now, what I like to be able to do is, this is how I practice it usually. I'll say, look, from the 2nd, and so on. That's how you practice it. You do the chord up first, and then you listen to what the pivot sounds.
Okay.
Do it. Do it. Start on F sharp 7. Let's go up all the chords. Do it.
Okay. So you got
pivot, No. But you got to start on the same F sharp every time.
Okay.
That's the point of the
Oh,
pivot.
I got you.
That's the
You
point of the
got
pivot. Do it.
See if I done.
Yep. Next one. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Stand back.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Now, what's nice is Bob do 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 do. Watch this one. Uh watch this, man. Do the one from the seventh.
okay.
Yeah, just do the pivot. Dub dub. Da, do, do. What if you put that on the and?
One.
Dedo, but D. Yes, exactly. Now do Barry's chromatic. You're on the sixth, right? You're on the
Yeah.
beat. So
Yeah.
do Barry's chromatic from the sixth to the fourth.
Going down.
Going down.
Ooh. Wait a minute.
No, no. But
One.
starting on the end. Starting on the end.
One.
Beta. Dida.
Yeah. So
Right. Dida, but dida dida da. Now come down a chord. Bida diba.
Oh. Like that.
No, come down a chord from the fourth. Watch, watch, watch.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so do it.
So I started on. Let me do that again. I just lost
Seventh.
it. Okay. So the seventh. One. Okay.
Right, do higher up. Yes, exactly. That's nice
Yeah.
one. So now, you know, sometimes we'll play a major chord a half step before the B major. So we'll play a C major. So I want you to do a chord down from the seventh to the C major. So watch. You did this. Now I want you to do this. Major seven.
Major?
Right, exactly.
Okay. So you're saying.
So watch.
Duh.
1, 2, so yeah. So watch. Right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Be da ba dee ba dee ba dee ba doo ba a da dee.
Ah!
Yes, do it. Go ahead, do it.
Oh, when did I start on?
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
yes, and then and then do yes, Bobby Doobada. Exactly.
Wow, man.
Yeah. Do it.
How do you come up with this stuff?
Do
Okay.
do that. Do it.
One, baby.
Yeah. So, or you could have said ah.
Oh, that's right. Oh. Something like
Or pivot. Pivot. So that's pivoting a chord from the third. Right. You pivot a chord. You do 3.
yeah.
That's 3. Right. There you go. Ah.
I keep. Oh, my bad. Something like that.
Isn't that nice?
Man, but that's what I'm talking
stuff,
about.
right?
You come up with like.
No, but I'm telling you, man, what happens is it's just like you practice these smaller sections. And then you get comfortable doing them, and then you just start putting them together however you feel like, it's just putting stuff together.
Yeah.
So if we broke that line apart, we're like, okay, what kind of things do you have to know? Well, the first thing we started off with was a pivot, right?
Yeah.
But we did a pivot starting on the and, which has a totally different feel to it, right? And you know what's funny, man? I haven't started doing pivots on the and until like the last couple of years. Every time I would do a pivot on an and, I would say, "Oh, it's wrong. It sounded wrong to me." But it wasn't wrong. It was just I never practiced it feeling the and like that. So I just thought it was wrong. Every note felt awkward
Right.
because I was so used to hearing it on the beat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the pivots on the and are awesome.
I love it.
Love those, man.
It just gives it a little bit more forward motion.
Yeah, that's
Well,
I love that saying too. I feel like you're exactly right about that. You feel like when you start on an and, you do feel this forward motion. But see, to me, that's where the swing comes from. It's like that. It's like that forward motion. That's what I feel is swing. You know, like that. I know it's like when people call things, when somebody says something is swinging, it's like this abstract thing. It can mean a lot of things. It's like a Rorschach test for people. You know, it can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. But for me, how you just said it, the forward movement. That's what it feels like to me, all the time. Like that's when you feel swing. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got to run B flat 7 into E flat, and then E flat back to B flat for 2 bars. B flat is 2 more bars. And then if you really want to get fancy, maybe you could bring in B flat's tritone, which is E7. Now you got a whole other thing happening. Yeah, but you got to start, you know, and I feel like the only way to practice that is to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
Start a thing, start someplace, start with the pivot, start with a half step, start with a triad.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if you started with a triad, let's go to a B flat 7 blues for a second.
Okay.
Let's start with a triad from the B flat. Just a triad.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Okay. Okay. I thought you repeated the top though, no? Like when
No,
you
that's an arpeggio.
Okay. Arpeggio. Okay.
That's an arpeggio, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I like that too, though.
Yeah. So you got.
So you could say, so there's a perfect phrase. Ba ba doo be. Now hit the flat 7 da. Fifth.
Okay.
Yes, and now hit the 3rd of E flat. Ba. Right? And now you're on E flat, so you could hit 3, 5, 6, flat 7. 3, 5, 6, flat 7. Ba ba doo da.
3. Yeah.
Yes. So watch. You got something like this. Ba ba doo be do da ba doo day. That's the first part of the blues. I do like this. Watch. Ba ba doo be dee da da ba doo day. Yeah.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that right?
That was good. Yes. And then maybe something like ba be dee da, something like that. With the flat 3 and the 3 of the B flat. Ba ba dee da, something like that. No, same notes. Ba be da.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
That's cool. So.
Yeah. Just something simple. See, stuff like that. Now let's go back to the idea of the triad, though. So come up a triad from the B flat, but now start on the and.
1, 2, 3.
So yeah, exactly. But you know what I want? 1, 2, 3, 4. I want 1 half step between the 2nd and the top.
Yeah.
Now come down to the 3rd of the E flat. So watch. And then come up a chord from the 3rd of the E flat.
Yeah.
One more note.
Okay.
But like a triplet. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba doo biddy 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 bidda bada bida.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I like that.
You see that? That's right in the beginning of blues. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Let's say
Do it.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. but see, like that. You got to put stuff together like that. See, but that is just taking a triad and starting it on the and.
Yeah.
So, you know, basic B flat 7. We do the scale up and down. We do scale thirds, triads. But this was a triad starting on the and.
That's right.
Yeah,
There again with that forward motion again.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's the right idea, Maury.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right idea. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You just sit up and you practice little things like that. You know, you just say to yourself, all right, I want to do something with a, you know, I want to do something. Like, do you ever do these on the scale? We'll take B flat 7, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll say, if you start on, just play up a third, B flat to D.
B flat to D?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Now watch. Instead, start on B flat, go a half step below B flat, come back to B flat, then go up a third. Bob a doo. Yes, bob doobie dee doobie dee do the whole scale. But B flat 7, B flat 7.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the beat or off?
Good. I'm glad you asked that. How about let's start on the beat first, and then we'll do off. Okay.
Okay.
Now down.
That one always the hard. I gotta ask you this one in a second too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Now, Maury, now do it on the and. Yes. Yes. Aren't those nice though? Aren't those nice though?
Yes.
Now watch. If you did it, do the first one again. Da. That's on the beat. But go up a triad.
Okay.
Right.
On the beat.
Yeah. On the beat.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all.
Yes.
Okay, you want it like that?
That's right. On the beat. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yes. Yeah, man. Now do it on the ends. I like them on the ends. Watch on the ends. Yeah.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Hey. Aren't those great? And it's and you know what, man? I've been doing everything like that now. So anything I practice, I try to do it on the ands, just to see what it feels like. That's totally my new thing. No matter what I do, I try to do it on the ands. So even like Barry's chromatic scale, you know, like if we start on B flat and we do Barry's chromatic scale up to the third, we got this. Do that. And then when we get to the third, come up a chord. Do it. Now, if we wanted to do that on every degree of the scale, what we did was we started on a note, we went up chromatic scale to a third, and when we got to that note, we played up a chord. So the first one was this. Do it. And the second. From the third. From the fourth would be
right. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
From the fifth.
Yeah.
From the sixth. 7th. And then back to the first one again. Now watch. The chromatic scale was interesting because that's always predicated on all the scale notes always being on the beat, right? So if you wanted to start that same phrase on the and, all you have to do is eliminate the first half step. So instead of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to start on the end and I'm going to eliminate the first half step. So I'll still start on B flat, but I'm going to take out the B natural. So 1, 2, 3, 4, Yeah. Now if you start on the second, instead of this, it's going to be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, Because you take out the first half step.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now from the third, what would it normally be?
It would normally
be yeah, but now do it on the end.
Oh, take out the first. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so on. You see that? So I've started practicing that because, you know, when you really listen to Bud Powell and they doing this all the time, the ands are so important. You know, and I realized, man, I don't play any of that stuff. I have to play that stuff.
But you doing it now.
I got
this stuff you're giving me. You just gave me enough for a year.
but you know, Maury. The thing is, you know, being a practicing musician like you are. At least for me, I can do it like talking about it, but then you have to have it in your hands so good that when the time comes to play, you can just do it.
The muscle memory has to be there, right?
It has to be, and you know what? It becomes even more than muscle memory. It becomes like your sense of music in general has to be like, you have to be 1 second ahead of yourself, almost, in a way. You know, which is really, that's like the goal. If you could do that all the time, you'd be really great. It's your practice time is your think about it time. What we're doing now is this is the, let's research this time, right? Mm-hmm. But then it's you fall in love with a couple of them, you grab them, you try them in every key. Now that's a part of you.
Right.
Now when you're on the gig and you're playing Star Eyes or you're playing whatever, it's coming out.
Right.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's like a 3-step process. It's like the discovery phase, which is what we're doing now, where you're like, oh, this is great, you know? And then it's the, like, just sitting up, practicing it, like getting it in every key, like getting it very thorough. That's the second phase, right? Becoming more familiar with it, playing in every key. The third phase is now, I'm just playing it on the gig. And I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not thinking, I'm starting on the second, I'm putting 2 half steps. That's over. I already did that in the discovery phase. I already did that. Right. So I don't have to think about that anymore, you know? If I'm like you said, like, oh man, I'm sick of all the same phrases that I'm playing, that's when you go back to the discovery phase and you try to discover more stuff, you know? And then you move it on to the next 2 levels. At least that's how music works for me, because, you know, I'm not like, I remember going to Barry's and being around people that were so musical, man. Like, I couldn't believe people were this musical. You know, like, you can't even believe it. You know, some people have such a natural talent for it. It's almost intimidating. You're like,
you don't think you have the natural? Because the way your phrases come out sounds like you speaking the language all the time.
Nope. No. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it wasn't natural. It was definitely every learning process. It felt like I was hitting a wall every time, and then you just have to break through it. Mm-hmm. You know, but it should be good for you to hear me say that, because that means that you don't have to be one of those people that's just like, I'm super musical and just natural. You don't have to do that. That's one way, but that's not the only way. Right. The other way is just like we're doing now, brute force.
Yeah.
Just like, man, I'm going to take a phrase, or I'm going to take a couple of things and really know them in every key. I'm going to know everything like that. But my feeling about it is, you take any of these little things that we practice them, and then you connect them to other little things that you practice. That's it. That's how you create phrases. That's it. Wow. You know,
Do you
that's how
ever
you
write
come
this
up.
down? Do you ever write
What's,
any of these down, or you just come up? Okay. Yeah.
First of all, my reading and writing of music is like a baby. I'm like a
Right.
baby. I'm like, it's laughable.
And it slows you down, probably.
For me, it slows me down.
Yeah.
It slows me down, and I never, you know, because when you're in class, when you're in Barry's class, well, you know, because you took a few classes with him,
I
so
did.
you don't have time. You don't have time to write stuff down. It's going by like this. You have to just try to grab it on your instrument, you know? Yeah, he's,
Yeah.
you know, Barry is a culmination of unbelievable technique, complete musicality, and like born with such a beautiful sense of taste. You know, like he would describe something, and this is what, you know, I talk about this in class sometimes, but this is the truth, man. And you know this by being around him. He can throw out an idea, like talk about a concept, and then all of us start to try to do the concept. But then when he does it, he had such a touch at the piano. You're like, oh my God, my thing sounds like an exercise. His thing sounds like heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very hard, and that's the thing that I'm still trying to, you know, you're constantly searching for that, because it's got to be a combination of all these. Oh, these are great ideas. We're super smart, but then how you put
How
it
do you
together.
make it musical? Yeah. How do you make it speak in the sound of that, the language? Yeah.
That's the hardest thing in the world, you know. But for Barry, it was so easy.
Yeah.
You know, for Barry, it was now. See, for him, it was natural.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it was always natural for him, or that's just because he was at the piano since he's 5 years old.
You know what I've been wrestling with? The perfect pitch thing. Did he have perfect pitch?
No, he didn't.
I don't have. Okay,
He
good.
didn't have it. Roy Hargrove had perfect pitch.
Okay.
And I worked with this bass player, Lyle Atkinson, who had perfect pitch.
Okay.
And you know, it's a huge benefit in some areas.
Yeah.
But it's not everything. You know,
Right.
it's not everything. And even
Right.
if you don't have perfect pitch, that's okay. Because
Yeah.
you start, you know, you start to learn, like Barry had relative pitch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So if you said we're in B flat, and he could sometimes sing a B flat, or he would sing an F. He could sometimes do it in the car. We used to do that. Like I'd be driving him back, and then he would think he was singing an F. So then we would put something on like "Now's the Time," and we would see if it was right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we throw something on the radio, but yeah, he didn't have that though. He didn't have that, and actually, he used to say himself like he was not a great transcriber.
Mm.
You know, like this guy Michael Weiss. Do you know Michael Weiss?
Yes.
Michael Weiss. He has perfect pitch, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken. He's a great transcriber.
Mm-hmm.
Like he used to transcribe stuff for Barry. Barry would call him and say, "Michael, could you transcribe this?" He could really do it,
Mm-hmm.
like perfect. Like of all the people that transcribe Monk, Michael Weiss is right.
Wow.
Michael Weiss is really right, but I heard them do a duo concert one time, Barry and Michael Weiss, right? And they were playing Monk. And Barry's interpretation of Monk is it. That's it.
But he lived with the guy too, right?
What's that? What's that?
He lived with Monk too,
Yeah.
right?
But I mean, he gets Monk without copying Monk. I don't know. It's just like he gets it.
It's the
Whereas-
musical interpretation versus the written, literary. It's like you're reading it out of a book when you transcribe.
Yes.
But if you get it, the musical idea in your head and your ear, totally different.
And the feel.
There you
Like
go.
Barry had the feel like so good, you know, like so good. You just, you know, that's why. But I mean, you understand it because you went to class, so you know what it was like being around him and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I know you have to go, but
Yeah.
when you do the half step from above coming down on the not the triad, but just the third, does that repeat coming down?
Yeah, one of them repeats. Yes, no, you're right. One of them
Okay.
repeats. Yes,
Okay, I'm
yes,
just making
yes,
sure.
yes.
Okay, okay, good
One of them
deal.
repeats. Those are nice.
But this is great, man.
You're
It helps.
professional already. You're already
Yeah.
professional. You know, it's not a thing. But I love when you're at the class and you see
I love it.
everybody's face. When you come to the class, everybody's face is bright.
I love the community. I love the community. It's great.
And Danny loves it. Danny loves it when you're there. You know.
That's my buddy, man. That's my buddy.
Yeah, man. He's great too.